Yo, good morning, everybody. Good evening, good afternoon. How's everybody doing?
Hello.
Fine. Yeah.
Sweet. Well, welcome back. It's Tuesday, even though it's kind of like a Monday because of the short week for anybody who's in the U.S. You know, President's Day, go Presidents. It's not President's Day anymore. It's Tuesday, so it's time for another live stream. Welcome in, everybody. Good to see you again. So we got another, episode, show. What do you even call these? What would you guys call these?
Live stream.
We got another live stream. All right, perfect. So today we're going to go and do what we normally do. So let's start with the recap. So last week, Gordon had a creative session, and let's take a look and see what Gordon created.
Let's
just talk about it. I think
I'll set it up. I completely blanked on that. Give me like 5 minutes, but yeah, it's a game. I'll spin it up.
Okay, perfect. Yep, so Gordon went through and created a game using Flutter and Flame, I believe.
Flutter Flame, yeah.
Yeah. So it's a nice little like riff off of Doodle Jump, and he showed how you can take Flutter and the Flame engine and add in your Rive animations to that. So we'll take a look at that in a second. And while he's doing that, let's talk about what's going on this week. So this week we've got a creative session coming to you from Zach. And Zach is going to be talking a little bit about TensorFlow. You want to talk a little bit more about that, Zach?
Yeah. Tomorrow we'll just explore some examples of using TensorFlow in a web application. Just some fun stuff we've been tinkering with lately. Some hand and face detection and see how they interact with some different state machine examples, just to give some nice proof of concepts and some ideas on ways to extend using Rive.
So for those who don't know, me, myself included, TensorFlow is like a tracking thing that you can do. What is that?
Yeah, I don't really know. I'm gonna go to their example site to describe it. Creating production grade machine learning models with TensorFlow.
Sounds good.
I don't know anything about machine learning, but they have really neat and easy to use APIs for basically getting data about different detection things on your camera. So facial detections, different key points on there, hand detections, and key points on your fingers and stuff. And with that, there's some pretty interesting things that you could do. Because I know we talk a lot about for example, like cursor tracking and, listeners and stuff like that. But what if you could take the interaction to outside of the computer? And so it's fun stuff. We've seen some examples of this. I think Flutter, the last Flutter conference, they demoed a hologram photo booth kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot the name of it. Holo booth, I think.
Holo booth, yeah.
I'll share the link. Yeah. Thanks, Gordon. And they use TensorFlow to do some really interesting like photo booth kind of applications. And so I think that topic is really interesting. So excited to dig into that more.
Well, sweet. So if you're interested in that, come check out Zach's creative stream on Wednesday. You're going to be doing it in the afternoon, Zach?
Yes, I am setting up now, but 4 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Pacific.
Ooh.
Wait. Yes. I did that right.
And that's 1 p.m. Eastern.
Yes. Wait.
No, sorry. 5 p.m. Eastern.
5 p.m. Eastern. Yeah.
All right, cool. So that's Wednesday, so come and check it out. Thursday, not Wednesday, we have a workshop. We're going to be doing swipe interactions. From the design side, we'll talk about how to set those up. And then from the implementation side, we'll look at how to use those swipe interactions in a to-do app. And I don't know. Zach and Gordon might cook something else up. But for right now, we're talking about to-do apps, I'm pretty sure. You guys have anything cooking on the back burner that you guys want to share, or you're just going to keep it secret until Thursday?
Secret.
All right, secret. I like the suspense. I'm a big Tom Clancy fan.
I'm getting stressed out just thinking about all this suspense and secrecy. I know what's going to happen. I don't even know what I'm doing yet.
Well, let's say we also don't know, me and Zach.
Yeah, it's a secret.
It's a secret to us as well.
It's so secret, nobody even knows about it. All right, sweet. Well, that's going to be Thursday, same time. So come and check that out if you want to watch the workshop on swipe interactions and secret implementation. All right, so that's the streaming schedule for this week. Let's talk about some of the new things that have landed in the app. If you're a part of the Discord, you should know about this stuff already. If you're not part of the Discord, we'll get you a link in a second. Join that so you can keep up to date on all the updates that Rive app has. You can ask for help there. If you're looking for animators, that's a great place to find other animators and just chat with other folks. But the new releases that landed last week, we've got some new panning options on the timeline. So now you can right-click on the timeline and move it around. There is a new shortcut, the U key, will expand and collapse timeline objects so that you can see all the keys associated with it. And finally, there's some issues that were fixed when you try to copy and paste things from Figma, or at least copy and paste SVGs from Figma into the Rive editor. Some things that are coming up. We're still working on text. iOS runtime is still in the works. That's almost ready to go. You may have noticed if you were working with Rive today that there's some new aesthetic changes to animate mode. Instead of the gradient animate mode switch up at the top, that's been replaced by a different button. And now there's like a little animating
doohickey?
That thingamajig that hangs out in the top left of the screen there to let you know that you're in animate mode so that you don't make changes while you're in animate mode. Though we are looking at adding some other features around that. Don't know when exactly, but I think some of the stuff we've been talking about is going to be pretty cool. There's also some new state machine improvements coming soon. Yeah. I would say even sooner than soon. So maybe this week. We'll have to see. Okay, that's all the announcements for this week. Did I miss anything? Anybody think of anything that I missed?
Yeah, I think no.
No.
That
Right.
U key shortcut is nice. Just by the way, it's something I missed from After Effects, where you could expand and contract all the animation keys and stuff. So give it a try.
Oh, I did forget some things to announce this week. There will be 1, 2, if not maybe 3 tutorials landing on the YouTube this week. So keep an eye out for those. We've got one on mouse tracking. We've got one on meshing and another on the drag and drop interaction. So if you're interested in learning about those should be landing on the YouTube sometime this week. I think we're going to coordinate and put them out all at the same time or something. I don't know. Watch out for those this week. We'll tweet about it or say something in Discord. You know the routine. All right, that's it. We want to take a look at some community animations. Hello, everybody. Welcome in if you're new around here. Don't forget, we do all of this stuff, and then we do a Q&A at the end, and we're almost to what I would say the end of like us just rambling. So get your questions in, and we'll get those answered for you. All right, community animations. We've got one from, wait for it, Zuzuza. Boy, what a name. It's a great name. Probably the best name. Let me share my screen and we'll take a look at this. Boom. This animation is pretty cool. Simple interaction. Just click on it and the little skull character does the guitar playing animation. It's not the most interactive thing, but I think the artwork's great and I think the animation is really cool.
Yeah, I love the face. He's so happy. I like it.
Nice. What do you call these skull candies or candy skulls? I don't know.
You know.
All right. So, cool animation. Do we have any other ones? I don't think so.
Well, there's one that I like.
Ooh.
The lifespan timeline. It's on the community.
Ooh, let's
I'll
look at that
send
real
it.
quick.
I mean, it's not flashy, but like it's the first example like this that I've seen in a while, I guess. That's has like it's more like an infographic kind of style.
Oh, cool. Ooh, can't show that one.
Yeah, I sent it in chat.
All right, sweet. There we go. So many buttons. All right. This thing. I think it's this. Oh, here it is. Sweet. Maybe we can, hang on, restart it real quick. Well, these are really cool planets. Looks like something for a learning app or something like that.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, it's nice.
Very, very cool. And this was
I don't think it
from-
has any triggers, but yeah, if you restart or refresh the page, it should start from scratch.
Yeah, this is one that I don't know if they're gonna if they're putting this in like a slide or a web. If they put it in a website, man, it would be really cool to have like a little slider to go through the different times and stuff like that. Anyways, this is a really cool project.
I love, like you said, the design of the stroked outlines on the planets and then the little bloom or glow. It's really, really nice looking.
Yep. All right. Let's see. Not really a question, but Conrad, hope to see the PC app. Yep, still working on that. Should be pretty soon. On the Suno Meter, it's pretty soon. And trust me, you guys will be the first to know. Well, if you're on Discord, you'll be the first to know. So make sure you join that. In fact, let me get a link to that real quick. JC, you want to show off one of your cool little animations that you've been working on? This thing is
Yep.
pretty sweet. While I'm grabbing us a Discord link.
Beep, beep, beep.
There you go.
Okay, this is an animation I'm working on. It's not finished yet, but I think the most important part is finished. My initial idea was create an example where you need to interact with the character or with the thing to release the UI of the web. So in this case, I think about something like the grooming service, grooming.
Yeah, dog grooming. Yeah.
Yeah, dog grooming, exactly. So I'm going to the animation. And the idea is this. When you open the web or the app, you find this, and you can see this symbol that means cut something. So here you can move the hand, and when you here you can cut the hair, and you can see this bar. So you can cut. If you release, the bars go back. So you need cut the hair, and then you have other symbol that is the dry thing. So you can move this hand and complete, and that's it. You have the UI of the web.
That's so cool.
The idea is simple, but using different animation elements, you can create something very interesting. So I'm going to show you the file a little bit. I'm going to show the bonds. And here, I create, the hands, the body of the dog, the chair, all this is 3D. I create in 3D, export in PNG, import to Rive, and here you can see I use a mesh for the different hands. And the other thing is that the hair, for example, is vector, the dry machine is vector, and the UI. And here I use here and this I key for the hand. And with this control, I use an I key for the hands, and I use other here in the scissors, because using only this control, I can open and close the scissor. This is the tricky. Always my idea is create controls to only animate one control or two for the animation. So this way I don't create a lot of keys. And here, this is the other I key for this. The interesting here in this hand is that I use, remember what is the limit, but when I move, the hands to the head, you can see how reacts the head and the hair. Okay, I create this using a distance constraint. I think it's here. This is the bone. Here, this is distance constraint. So when I move the hand to this position, this limit connect with the this constraint and move the head. Move this bone and move this bone. That this bone is the hair bone. So this is the thing. And here, let me show you here. This is the different animation when I play. This is when I press this hand. You can see how it changes the state. This is the hitbox, how it changes the hitbox when I press and drag the hands. This is the cut animation. What happened here is that this shape is here, is the hitbox to detect when the hand is in this position and start cutting the hair. Okay. So if I play and move the hand here, nothing happens. But when the cursor is on the hitbox, I start to cutting. This is the idea of this. The dry animation. This is the hitbox for the drag and drop of this. This is when the dry is on, off, when I press. The time basically is for the bar, for this bar. When I move here and cut, you can see that when cut is 100, jump to dry 0, and when the dry is 100, jump to the end. And the high, this is only for the little animation of the high. When I cut, this only jump to the animation of the high and go back to the idle. And that's it. This is the idea. When I finish the file, I'm going to publish in the community so you can open and check all this. But yeah, start with a simple idea. Yeah.
I love the idea of doing that on the dryer, having the bone set up on a distance or what is that, distance constraint?
Yeah.
So that you only have to animate it once and then it moves and stretches the bone out even more. That's
yeah.
really cool.
Yeah, the thing is when I press here, the dry start and the animation of the hair start at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And when I move from to the head, you can see it's more powerful now when you have
I
here
love
to
that.
the head.
That's a really cool trick.
Yeah.
Well, sweet.
Wait,
That's awesome.
So what is causing the bouncing? Is that
Well, the bouncing is the same. It's because this bone have an I key is connected with this this constraint. So when I move this, the constraint move this bone of the hair and move this bone too.
okay?
Yeah, super clever rig.
Yeah.
All right. Well, question time. It is that time where we hand we hand the steering wheel over, we hand the keys over to the chat. So whatever y'all want to know, we got time to answer questions.
The keyboard keys.
Yes, we're handing over the WASDs to y'all.
Oh, a WASDs.
Yeah, you never heard it called the WASD?
I mean, maybe I've heard it called that. I just didn't commit it to my long-term memory.
Yeah, I never called it WASD, but I watched a long time ago. There was a series that Rocket Jump put out called Video Game High School, and one of the characters got his fingers broken. He's like, "No, my WASDs." That's a great show, by the way. If you haven't seen that, you should check it out.
I feel like we need elevator music or something.
That's a good idea. Let's see. Should we expect desktop release software for PCs and Linux users? PCs, yes. Linux, I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's in the list, it's in our roadmap, but it's no soon. I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Okay. We're not putting the Linux version on the
Yeah.
Suno Meter yet. All right. Perfect. But PC is very soon, ish. When will the mesh
Yeah.
tutorials be released?
Yeah.
This week.
Yeah,
JC, what do you think?
this week we want to release this tutorial, but this tutorial is very simple, it's very basic, about three basic things you need to know about the mesh. But my idea is I have more examples and more things to share, but I want to do in a workshop. So my idea is create a workshop to explain the thing, the same we have in this small video. But what I want to do is show different examples, different situation where you need to use the mesh one way or another way. So yeah, this week we have this small video, but my idea is a workshop about this. Yeah.
Do we want to commit to a day when we want to release the tutorials? Like maybe, man, I was gonna say Tuesday, but it is Tuesday. Put them out tomorrow, maybe.
Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah, Wednesday or yeah, maybe Wednesday. Yeah.
All right, I'll set them up today so that they'll go out tomorrow morning. So, keep an eye out for a couple tutorials tomorrow morning.
They're really good.
Yeah, hopefully they will help some folks out with various interactions. And we're going to be making, so like before we were doing like hour-long tutorials, 45-minute long tutorials, and you're still going to get that with the creative streams. But now we're focused a little bit more on condensing them down just to get across the main points, to hopefully help out with sort of the overwhelming amount of information that's on the YouTube.
Yeah.
And last week I threw the question out to the chat, and they had some answers. But maybe since we have some new folks in the chat today, what are some tutorials y'all want to see? Because we've got a whole list of stuff that we want to make. But if you've got something you want to see, let us know, and we'll throw that on the list as well.
Yep.
Also would like to extend that to integrations or like runtime stuff. So if there's any particular coding examples you'd like to see or SDKs, Zach and I are listening.
Yeah, so we have our feature requests on Discord. Do you think we could do a tutorial request or something like that, where you could drop in an idea and people could vote on it, and we could that might be a nice way to collect.
Ooh, that sounds like a
like
good
that.
idea.
Ooh.
Let's see if I hang on.
So I don't know what that was.
Do I have the power? Let's see. Should we just make a new channel, or do we want to put it under feature request? I think we should do another channel, right?
You do whatever you want.
I don't
Gonna
know.
mute
Listen,
myself so I don't make weird noises anymore.
no, dude, stop it. That's what makes. Dude, that's what the people come for. All right, is the weird
Yeah.
noises. All right, I'm just gonna make a new channel. It's going up on Discord now. It's gonna be called Tutorial Requests. Yes, that is all right. Boom, it's there. If you want to request a tutorial, go there and do that. And like we say for everything else, features included. Call your parents, call your grandparents, call your mom. Well, that's your parents. Call your siblings. Tell them to upvote it, because I'm going to make a rule now. We will do the most upvoted tutorials, unless they're like, show me how to do a handstand in a pool while coding Chat GPT 4. We're not doing that one. Dude, that's unreasonable. Come on. Like,
Yeah, I mean it's unheard of, I think.
dude, the underwater camera alone to film that would be too much. Too much. We could do a slideshow though. You know that they I still think they have those film cameras or whatever with the underwater like covering that you'd like take when you go to the beach or whatever. I think those are like $3 or $4. I don't know, inflation, man. It could be like $10 right now. We don't know. But anything within reason, we'll do tutorials for that. So. Is everybody caught up on The Last of Us except for JC and Michael
No.
and
so
Gordon? I know Zach
not
is.
yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, that's my one Last of Us plug for the week. I skipped 2 weeks, so that's what you get. All right. Well, I'm gonna give it 4 minutes. We got T-minus 4 minutes. What is even T-minus? Oh, time minus 4. Got it. All right. I didn't know what that meant. 4 minutes, and we're gonna go. We're gonna disappear. We're gonna poof.
Poof.
Should we talk about tutorial ideas?
Yeah, we can talk about some of the stuff that we have on our list so far. Let's see. Let me find that. Oh, look at y'all jumping in there already, popping in the tutorial. Look, you guys are great. You guys are the best. All right. Notion. What do we got?
It's actually a good idea for us to just like also test, like, you know, before we commit to doing a tutorial, we drop it there and see if it gets upvotes. And
Oh, that's a good idea. Gordon coming in with the good ideas too. Man, so many good ideas today. Man, where is this at? Hang on, we're gonna find this thing. Oh, it's right here. And then it's yeah, there we go. Okay, cool. I think the next tutorial that I'm thinking about making, and maybe folks can let me know if they want to see this or not. Some of the, like if you ever worked with a blend state for like a loading bar, you'll know that like when you increase your number input, when you're at like whatever you define as like your 0 number and your ending number, when you get halfway there, your bar's not halfway, and how to fix that.
That's a good one.
yeah,
That's a common problem that folks run into.
Yeah.
This is cool. We've had this requested a couple times. A VFX tutorial, like waterfalls. I know JC, you've done one of those before.
Yeah.
You've done it with the beach stuff too. Those are really cool. Raindrops or even combat effects. I think there's a lot of different tutorials that we could probably pull out of there.
Yeah. The thing is for different effects, you need to create a different thing. It's like you need to create different tutorial because it's not the same. But yeah, we have in our mind to create some tutorial about effects. Yeah.
Cool. Let's
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw some of these on here. So like waterfall /
Yeah.
what do you call the water at the beach? Ocean? No.
Ocean or yeah.
Wave? VFX? I'm sure like fire VFX is a good one.
Yeah, fire is other, yeah.
All right, we'll throw some more on there. Let's see. I see there's a there's a tutorial idea in here for developers, changing the color of an animation or object in Flutter. That's interesting. We get that one asked a ton.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a bit of a hard question to answer because like there's not a good way to do it now, and the suggested way might not be the long-standing way. Not the suggested way, but like the current way you can do it. Hopefully soon we'll have a good way to do it.
Yeah.
We've also got simulating drop shadows, blurs, and glows until we actually get those natively integrated. Talking about clipping and strokes, because I know that's a common complaint. The stroke, was it the clipping doesn't contain it within the stroke, and how to fix that. So that'll be cool. Hey, Jeff.
Yeah, we need to do other about weight messes too.
Yeah, I think some more meshing tutorials would be cool.
Now that Jeff's here, I think it's a good shout out to his site where he shows how to use Rive in Webflow pretty effectively with some really neat code snippets. Oh gosh, I'm blanking on the project name.
We need
Is it,
linkage.
It's
I think it's in our awesome Rive repo.
Riveflow.
There we go.
Of course it is.
We may have included this a couple weeks ago. I'm looking through our live stream notes here. Nope, that's not it. Live stream. That's not it. Man, we did mention it. I didn't have a link for it.
What are you looking for, Robert?
Link for the Live Flow or Rive Flow website.
I can send it.
Ooh.
It is so neat.
There we go. Sweet. Oh,
Nice.
thanks, Zach. All right, we'll hang out for a couple more minutes, take some more questions, and then I think we're going to get out of here. As a reminder for everybody, if you're joining late, we've got a workshop on Thursday for swipe interactions. We'll be building a to-do list. Zach's going to be doing a creative session tomorrow using TensorFlow, which is like a tracking API. Face tracking, hand tracking.
Machine learning.
Machine learning, yeah.
Machine learning.
So basically Skynet.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically Skynet. Has anybody animated the Suno Meter yet? No, but that sounds like a great idea.
That should be a priority.
Yeah, that has just been bumped to the top of my list.
That's a scary visual to have, because once people know that like a certain feature is right at the end of the Suno Meter, now it's like, oh, I know that. It was nice when it was just ethereal.
Here's the thing about the Suno Meter, okay? There's like the normal view of the Suno Meter is it looks like a half circle, right? But the closer you get to one end, the more it like zooms in. And you know how if you think about it, you know, things that are like an inch apart seem pretty close, but like if you go down to the microscopic level, like that's actually really, really, really far. So that's how the Suno Meter works. It's like sometimes things will get to the soonest end of the Suno meter, but you know, we got to keep zooming in to look, and that gap keeps getting bigger and bigger. And
No more details. It reminds me of like watching a movie before you read the book. Like I've got this idea in my head. I don't actually need it visualized for real. I just need to pretend.
No, we can
come
say
up with it in my own head.
we can say the animation of the Suno Meter is finished soon.
yeah, yeah.
soon or
No, it's soon. It's not soon. Yeah, no. The end of the Suno meter is like this ethereal place that only few have ever seen. You know.
I promise we're not making a joke out of our out of our release schedule or anything. Like we just don't have like hard dates, so that's why this is fun.
Yeah, if you've ever worked on things like this, you know that like things get slid every now and again, and that's kind of what happens. Is like we have an idea of when it's coming out, we don't have a hard date set, and it's either soon or it ain't soon. Some things are sooner than soon, and some things are not. But they all flow onto this semicircle. Maybe it is a circle. I don't know, because maybe soon is the same as like the other end of soon. I don't know.
It's also incredible how accurate it is too. Like
Dude,
the soon and the soon. Like it's as accurate as I can imagine it being.
Yeah, it's never wrong.
This soon. This is for any South Africans listening. So it's a
is
common
that a bad
thing in
word?
South Africa to say, you don't say now, or you can say now, but you can also say now. And it essentially, like I actually get confused all the time, but one means like it's gonna happen now, and the other one means it's probably not gonna happen soon. But it will happen, but not now.
So
But
is now not soon, and now is like now?
Yeah, I've had so many debates about this that I'm confused. But if the little Easter egg for any South Africans, so it's a very common thing there.
So that reminds me of. So if I use the word like a couple, and I always use that as two. It means two in my head. My wife does not believe that's the case. Like a couple can be two or three apparently, but I think anything over two is a few. Like three is 3, 4, 5, 6 maybe is a few, but a couple, I always say two. And I ordered a couple coffees one time. He's like, "Oh, so you mean two?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, I should probably specify like the exact number of something I want to buy." She's like, "You can't keep saying a couple for these. Like you have to actually say a number."
Yeah, it's not the same. It's like when you order a Coke in certain places in the U.S. It's not just like a Coca-Cola. It's like, well, what kind of Coke? You want a Dr. Pepper? Do you want a Sprite? Like, what do you want? Even though Coke's the name of the drink. Anyways, it doesn't matter.
yeah.
It also reminds me of that like verbiage where people were like, yeah, no, or like, no, yeah, that makes sense. I just think about that sometimes, and I'm like, that must sound so confusing for people just learning the English language and hearing some of these strange idioms.
Yeah, that's a good one. But it's so fun to say that.
What now?
No. Yeah, no.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that one. No.
Boy, language. What a funny thing. Jeez. Oh, looks like there's something similar in Greek. I'm so sorry. Siga. Anybody want to take a stab at that? Anybody know Greek? I don't know. Is that now, or is that
It's yes, no. It looks like.
I think Maria sent that when we were talking about now. So
yeah. Let's find out. Greek translation.
Good enough.
Oh no!
For which one?
No. Go the other way.
I think Robert had like 3 pronunciations.
Yeah, I don't know. Dude. Listen, I'm smoke. Okay, maybe that's a bad translation. All right, never mind. Slowly, slowly. There we go. All right, sweet. Yeah, I don't drive slowly, slowly. Is it Siga, Saiga, or some other thing? Can I get a phonetically spelled version of that? I must know.
This stream will go until you find out.
Yeah. Okay,
Oh.
that's
Does that help?
nope.
Yeah.
Look, it's the American in me, right? I'm very like ignorant of everything that's not, especially me, sweet tea and ribs. You know what I mean?
I would guess it's
Phonetically is like this. Okay, give me a word, any word. Just give me one. That's English.
hello. But I would guess it's Siga because, like, you know, Sig and Trig and Sigma.
Yeah, that's okay. That makes sense. Okay, I guess. All right. Here's a question. Since we usually do this, off stream, but let's just do it on stream. Workshop for 2 weeks from now. What do we want to do? Got any requests from the chat, or do we just want to talk about kind of what we think? I think this could be fun. Well, fun.
Some workshop ideas here.
Hey, you guys can get some inside
Yeah,
baseball.
maybe next week we can do the meshes. The mesh workshop with
meshes.
the all example. Yeah.
Okay. I like that idea.
Yeah, and we can add the weight part too.
All right.
So draw meshes and weight. Some tips about how weight the vertex.
One thing I used to do a lot of that pertains to meshes is like, well, this is when we had, what did you call, what were they, the solos? Doing like skinning for meshes where you have to like replace an image and do all that stuff. Basically using like the skeleton as like you're going to use one skeleton for all your humanoid enemies, but you want to put skins on top of it. Maybe quickly showing off the process of how you have to replace images and fix up the meshes and stuff like that. Here's a good one. Like to see how Zach did the text tracking in JavaScript.
You're in luck.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah.
True.
Text tracking. Okay. Yeah.
Wait, text tracking or
Yeah,
the eye
text
tracking?
No, text.
Text tracking.
Oh, like the login form thing, like the eye.
Or
was it the ball that you had? Or the
it might be
ellipse
the
you had?
ball thing. I just put that in Discord, replying to someone. It's like the low level runtime and having it track a target group, target node.
Yeah, I think examples like that would be
That'd
because
be a
like
good
stuff
tutorial,
like
right?
that would be really cool as well for like pop-up forms and things like that, because you can technically create a pop-up form in Rive and then use that tracking to like display the HTML elements or whatever.
Yeah.
Is this a 6 to 10 minute tutorial, or is this something different, like a creative stream level thing?
I can try and bring it up if we've got time.
Yeah, we got time. And while you're bringing that up, here's another question that Zach and Gordon might know. In Discord, I asked about the text in Rive and how accessible it'll be for the screen readers. Any ideas?
I would guess off the bat not, though like technically speaking, like for like the default components we use, I would imagine that it wouldn't be too difficult for us to always do some accessibility. Like, yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, Zach, but like maybe for like the components that we show the Rive animations, there can be some logic to be like, if there's a text component, add that as like a screen reader components as well, you know?
Yeah. I think there's some parts that we can do. I think a lot of the accessibility, especially once text is released, will probably have to fall in some part on the user. So, for example, with like web applications, there are different ways where you can trigger your screen reader to read off live content. For example, if you have text popping up at a certain state in your state machine, we wrote a blog post about using ARIA live regions to basically bring focus to a certain piece of text or description at the appropriate time. So for example, you hit a trigger or fire off a trigger input or a Boolean input, whatever in your state machine, go to a next state, some text pops up. You can use ARIA live regions to read off certain pieces of text that you can use a regular HTML for, so like paragraph tags, header tags, and things like that. And you can also specify the appropriateness as far as like, do you want it to interrupt, what's being read at the current time on the screen, or do you want to have it read off after everything important has been read off on the screen? And so, yeah, with text, in these cases with Rive, a lot of it will probably follow on the user because Rive probably doesn't want to make too many assumptions about when things want to be read off. But yeah, check out that blog. I see it got linked there. Yeah, ARIA labels is definitely a good start to adding descriptive text to your Rive canvases and things like that.
Cool. I wonder if there's something we couldn't do. I know that thinking about like websites specifically, like if there's a combo of, like say for a button, like you could actually design the button background and all the hover interactions, but use a label, draw a label on top of that inside of Framer. So in your component, you'd actually be using HTML labels, but using that, like a graphic or an animation that's a Rive. I'm thinking of ways to like kind of work HTML elements into like an example like that.
Totally. One thing I always forget, like a lot of semantics of what you can do in HTML and what you can't or should not be doing. There's a whole guide on what is really allowed there. But like for example, with buttons, trying to fit a Rive canvas inside a button element, so you still have the ability to have all of the affordances that the web browsers have already implemented with buttons as far as focus states, disabled states. Maybe you might have to like really dig in, and if you have those kind of states on your Rive state machine, those are things you'd have to account for manually. But I mean, the browser already does a lot of this for you, and so being able to wrap those around native HTML elements will help for sure. With the text following thing, let me find this real quick. Sorry. Okay.
By the way, this could totally be a tutorial that you do on the side.
It definitely can. Yeah, so
animation.
or what was that, Gordon?
I said beautiful animation.
Yes, thank you. This is the work of a non-animator. This is not the work of all these wonderful people here. But yeah, so I wanted to just experiment a while back with using the low-level runtime to have native text or any really HTML DOM elements track something in Rive. And so what you see here, I just had a regular ball here that was bouncing up and down, and inside it is this target node group that's invisible and has its own animation within the ball, so you can kind of see how it differs. But what I'm essentially doing is I'm grabbing the coordinates of that target node group as it progresses through the render loop. So every time this thing moves, I'm getting its X and Y position coordinates, and basically setting the positioning of an HTML element, in this case a paragraph tag, to follow that at every frame. So without going into too many details here, and I'll probably go over it tomorrow in the creative stream, setting up the low-level runtime, there's a bit of steps here as compared to maybe using the high-level JavaScript runtime. But essentially what I'm doing here is I'm creating a Rive instance, loading in the WebAssembly here to tap into that lower-level C++ functionality to make Rive happen. And I'm loading in my Rive file here. It's called follow. The default artboard and state machine and yada yada. But here I'm gonna just skip to the follow text part. So once I have my artboard object, there's an API called .node where I can pass it the name of the node. I wish I had my Rive editor up, but this is the name of that target node inside the Rive hierarchy. I just called it hit. So I'm grabbing a reference to that, calling that text group. And then in this render loop function, which is kind of this recursive function that just perpetually calls itself. If you're familiar with request animation frame callbacks, it's really all the same here. It's just a Rive specific variant of it. But at every frame, all this logic is being executed as far as advancing the artboard, which is basically just moving the artboard, the state machine, everything, every frame by some amount of seconds, and then positioning it all. But really the magic is, and actually let me take a step back here. This hello tag that you see is actually an HTML element. I've included it in my HTML block here. At the top, I believe I grab a reference to that element in via JavaScript. So if you're familiar with JavaScript APIs, you can get certain HTML elements by get element ID. There's some other things like query selector. But once I have a reference to that HTML element, what I'm doing here is taking that text element, that hello tag, and I'm setting its style, left and top attributes. It's a absolutely positioned element, which means I can really dictate where it positions itself within this larger container I contained it in. And I can position it however many pixels, which is essentially what I'm doing here is I'm saying, okay, get that text, that target group from inside Rive, get the X property and Y property coordinates, and position it so that it's kind of in the middle here. So just doing some basic calculation, and I'm turning that into pixels. So I'm basically saying, hey, paragraph tag every frame, go ahead and position it to the text groups X and Y coordinates more or less. And this render loop is called, every frame. And so this is just continuously updating the styling of that paragraph tag. With this, as far as accessibility here, text is kind of overlaid on top of the canvas itself. And so, technically this could be something that's read off by a screen reader at the appropriate time if you, for example, scroll down to it and is not necessarily native inside the canvas itself. So it makes accessibility concerns a little easier to deal with there. But with the native text feature that we have coming out, I think there's still some affordances we can talk through, and then we'll definitely put out some guidance and tutorials on how to think about accessibility when you're using text in Rive, as far as web applications and other concerns as well. So yeah.
Sweet. This could be a whole ass tutorial all of itself. Yeah. Woo!
Yeah. There's some really interesting things you can do with the low-level runtime. I think there's a lot more we want to add for capabilities. So we're just slowly scratching the surface, and fun stuff. I just posted, or here, I'll post the link in here as well. I want to follow along.
Boop, boop. Sweet. Yeah, all this talk about text. Boy, I can't wait for the text tool to come out because there's two things I want to do. Animated, like graphic novel pages, I think would be really cool. And I'm not allowed to say this term, but I'm going to say it anyways. Building a choose your own adventure. That's not a choose your own adventure because that's copyrighted and you're not supposed to say that at all. But something like that.
What? It's
Yeah, no.
copyright.
Really?
Oh, dude, no. Shh, don't say it. Don't even bring attention to it. Yeah.
What?
Can you
Who'd
repeat that?
copyright that? That's
Dude,
horrible.
Choose Your Own Adventure copyrighted that. It's like
Oh.
the Big Mac. You can't make a hamburger and call it the Big Mac. You can't make a thing and call it a Choose Your Own Adventure. It's like a interactive quest book thing.
Interactive quiz book.
CYOA, yeah.
Are you talking about those games where you need to like type in like move left or pick up sword?
No, those are text-based adventures.
Oh, okay.
No. Hang on. Choose.
That would be cool as well. Like basically text prompt based, or whatever you just called it, but then with like some Rive animations to drive the story.
Those books were so easy to get through, though. You just mark where you're at, and then you flip to page whatever, and they're like, "Nope, that's not the one I want." And then you go back to the other page.
I was trying to remember.
Oh, you fell off a cliff. Oh, never mind. I meant the
I
other
go back.
direction.
So I was trying to remember what the whole like, because I didn't know that Choose Your Own Adventure was like this big like copyright thing. You couldn't say that. It was Netflix who got in trouble when they were doing the Choose Your Own Adventure like Netflix shows, like the Bear Grylls thing and the what was that Dark or Black Mirror episode. Yeah, they had to change the names of them because I don't even know. The Choose Your Own Adventure company came in and said, no, you can't do that. Anyways, that's something fun that I want to do. But it'll be select your own path animation or something. I don't know.
It'd be fun to do like a Where's Waldo, like but an animated scene with a character you have to find.
That isn't Waldo.
Yeah, it's Raldo.
Yeah.
Ronaldo.
Walter. Sorry.
Rivaldo.
Water.
It's water. Yeah.
Where is Daniel Ricciardo? Not in the F1 anymore, I don't think. Is he, JC? Is he still in F1?
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah.
Is he better than he has been? Is he doing better?
Nah.
Pretty bad still.
No, it's good.
Oh, okay.
Have a bad year last year, but
I mean, he is Daniel Ricciardo. Like, I can't really. He's better F1 driver than me, you know?
is the most happy pilot of the world.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah.
True. All right, y'all. I think that's enough banter for the day. Let's get out of here. Once again, one last reminder, join the Discord. We just added a new channel because of this stream right here for your tutorial requests. So if you think of anything, drop them in there. It would be nice if you put them into a thread. That would be the most organized way to do it. But if not, you know what? Just have a chat about it. Doesn't matter. We got a creative session tomorrow. Zach's going to be doing that at 4 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. West Coast, 5 p.m. East Coast, and then, non-American time zones. I apologize for not being able to convert that. Probably late. And then, Thursday we've got a workshop. So tune in for that. That'll be same time, same bat channel. Other than that, thanks for hanging out with us, everybody. Enjoyed it. Take it easy. Have a great Tuesday.
Bye.
Bye bye.